TFSA, aka tax-free savings account, is literally a gift from the gods offered by the Canadian government. Fortunately for me, over the past couple of months, I've had the pleasure to see my own TFSA surpass the famous $100,000 mark. And as Charlie Munger once said, the first $100,000 is a but you gotta do it. It is why in this video, I'll share with you how I've been able to reach this impressive milestone only at 26 years old and how you can do the exact same. But first, let's quickly recap what a TFSA is. Introduced in 2008 by the Canadian government, the tax-free savings account had the objective to encourage Canadians to save and invest more money completely tax-free. Indeed, as its name is saying it, the TFSA gives the possibility to every Canadian age 18 years old or more that have a valid social insurance number to contribute within a certain annual limit to this program by investing their money completely tax-free. In 2025, the annual contribution limit for every Canadian age 18 years old or more is of $7,000. And if you were 18 years old or more in 2009 and that you have yet to use your TFSA, your total cumulative rights would be of $102,000. And what is pretty interesting about the TFSA is that if you are able to grow your total tax-free savings account over time, and even if you decide to withdraw some money out of it, well, you will still be able to re-put the money that you have withdrawn the next year plus your annual limit at that time. So if you have no unused contribution limit and that you have a TFSA worth $200,000 and that you decide to withdraw $100,000 out of it, knowing that, let's say that next year the annual contribution limit is of $8,000, it means that you could put back $108,000 for the next year in terms of the contributions that would be available. And that, my friends, is the power of this tool combined with the power of the compound interest. Plus, by deciding to invest in your TFSA, it gives you the possibility to invest directly into some of the best investment vehicles such as cash, stocks, bonds, and gigs. But it's important to note that you can't do any day trading in it because Canada Revenue Agency could see this as some potential business revenue and tax you on all the profit that you would have made. So no, doing some day trading in your TFSA to reach $100,000 in it isn't the solution. It is also important to understand that the TFSA, unlike another important program in Canada, which is the RRSP, doesn't have the potential to deduct all your contributions in terms of your taxes. So you won't have the possibility to lower your tax bracket by using this program. But now that you know what a TFSA is, let's take a look at how you can maximize it in the long run. The first advice that I could give you to be able to maximize your TFSA to reach eventually $100,000 in it would be to max out your annual contribution limit every single year. By having an index annual contribution limit that will be usually growing every single year depending on the inflation, it means that on your side, you have the possibility to grow your TFSA completely organically until the day that you die. In my case, knowing that I'm 26 years old, meaning that I've turned 18 in 2017, it means that my current annual contribution limit, if I wouldn't have invested in my TFSA, would be of $55,000. But it is interesting to see that over the years, my total TFSA value has been able to more than double in value over the past couple of years. However, it is clear that for certain people, it might be hard for them to reach their annual contribution limit that they can do, for example, in 2025 of $7,000. So in that case, a great tool that you could use to reach and fulfill your objective financially would be to break down your objective period by period. For example, if in 2025 you have the objective, as I just mentioned, to reach your total annual contribution limit of $7,000 for the year, well, you could take that amount and divide it by 12 months, so it would give you about $583 per month that you would need to save and invest in your TFSA. Knowing that in 2025, the average Canadian earns around $63,000 before taxes, it means that your $583 investment that you'd be making in your TFSA would only represent about 11% of your total total gross monthly income. This is totally achievable if you're able to do on your side a budget to see what are the places where you spend the most money and that you should not necessarily spend it at that place. For example, if you have 6 or 7 subscriptions, for example, Netflix, Amazon Prime, or Hulu, you could decide on that side to just opt for only 1 or 2 subscriptions, and the rest of the money that you should be saving, you could invest it directly in your TFSA. And if you're even more ambitious, you could aim for a 20 to 25% saving and investment rate, which would help you to reach your goals even faster. Plus, if you're someone that tends to forget that you need to invest, for example, every single month, you could make sure to automate different payments that would be made every single paycheck that you receive. And this will be a great way for you to save and invest directly more of your money. But now, saving is one thing, but the other is pretty important. It is to make your money work for you properly. So the second advice that I would have for you would be to invest your money wisely depending obviously of your age, your time horizon, as well as your risk tolerance. Usually, for example, when people are younger, they tend to have more risk tolerance and have a longer time horizon, meaning that they can invest more in different growth stocks and ETFs, for example. And at the same time, when people are older, they tend to have less time, meaning that they'll prefer usually to have a great dividend stocks that gives them great passive income every single month. Personally, what I've been doing over the past couple of years is pretty much a mix of those two options. It is why I've decided to invest a big portion of my capital directly into some of the best American tech companies such as Meta, Google, and Amazon. And at the same time, I've also invested a certain portion of my assets directly into some of the best blue chips in Canada, companies for example such as TD or Enbridge. The positive thing about these companies on my side is the fact that they tend to be more defensive, especially when we are in big bear markets. And at the same time, unlike the foreign and the US income that you'd be generating, all the Canadian companies that are generating some dividends will be fully tax-free in your TFSA. Nevertheless, knowing that I'm still quite young at the moment, my own objective for the future would be to continue to invest mainly in the big and the great growth stocks and ETFs that I currently have in my portfolio. And finally, the last advice that I would have when it comes to your own TFSA investing would be to simply celebrate all the little victories. You don't have to wait until you reach the $100,000 mark in your TFSA before you celebrate, but you can just celebrate when it comes to reaching your first $100 investment in it, or even when you reach your $10,000 or $50,000 investments that have been made in this account. Comparison is the thief of joy, so never compare yourself with others if it comes to be negative for you, but instead just compare yourself with who you were before you started to invest, because just to be able to see all the progress that you've made over the past couple of years, for example, is pretty encouraging for you, especially if you're aiming to reach some other financial objectives in the future. Personally, I love to track every single month the performance of my own investing portfolio, as well as seeing all the dividend income that I've been able to generate completely passively over the past couple of months. And I also try to track what is my net worth evolution over a certain period of time to see if I'm going in the right track. So now that you know what are the best tips to grow your TFSA as much as possible, you might be wondering what are my total investments that I'm making in my TFSA as well as for my overall investing portfolio. And to find the answer to this question, check out the video that's gonna be right over here, and I will see you soon. Peace.